Lesson 23 Mega Firms. First, let us try to understand the introduction of this chapter, Mega Firms. Then we will try to understand what is each concept in detail. So first we should know what is this mega firms. You have to understand that as of now there is no legal structure called mega firms. So this is something we can say as like the dream of ICSI or the other institutes like CA or CS Institute. So in this chapter, which is the last chapter in company law, they are trying to tell you that in the future we need firms which are giving multidisciplinary services. So the concept about that firms, how the firm should be there and why we should have these firms, what is the presumed or the proposed law relating to mega firms is what is there in this chapter. Before we understand all that, let us try to understand why do we need mega firms. If you want some service, you would probably go to one person who will give you all the services. Or to give you a more simple example, if you go to a supermarket, you get everything right from vegetables to groceries to biscuits, every service you get in one roof, and you would prefer that as a matter of comfort, and very often you will also get a discount and things like that. Same way, when we go for mega firms, here it is not more about discount but to have one firm or one roof which gives you all the services. Just think of a corporate which is mid-sized or a big-sized company, or even for that matter a small-sized company. Now the biggest essence is time and expertise. So every client wants time of the partners of the firm and they want good expertise. So today if you are a small firm, you have to go to one chartered accountant, you have to go to one company secretary, you have to go to one cost accountant, you have to go to one lawyer. There are multiple firms, multiple agencies, multiple professionals which you have to meet. But under this mega firm, what has been visualized is very simple. We will have one firm which will have partners comprising of lawyers, our company secretaries, our chartered accountants and cost accountants. The Company Secretaries Institute has come from 1980. Before that we did not have an act, but we had ICSI from basically 1968, but then we got the formal Company Secretaries Act in 1980. So it is almost more than 50 years that we have the institute. So from 1988 onwards, we started getting different recognitions. That means company secretary can certify this form, company secretary can do this job, company secretary can do that job. Like that, there were multiple things which company secretaries were allowed to do from 1988. From 1988 till today, every year, there are multiple recognitions, multiple licenses, multiple permissions which company secretaries are getting. But it is very difficult for us to give our fullest potential because we don't have the support services like a lawyer or a chartered accountant. A client comes to you will not want only company secretary service, he wants all the services. Same way, client goes to chartered accountant, he doesn't want only chartered accountant service, he wants even other services. So in mega firms, we have a wonderful concept where ICSI has proposed this, that we need to have firms which is having one roof. Already we do have, so we can have limited liability partnerships which can be formed between company secretaries and chartered accountants, but then we need the different amendments in all the acts, because we should even think of professionals like engineers or architects. Even they are connected. Yes, they might not be in commerce, but then if you want to start a company, you would also want an engineer, you want an architect, you want multiple professionals, you want actuaries, people who advise on insurance matters, like that. So here we do have an existing law which says that CICS can form LLP, but then that also it is for non-attestation services. There are some restrictions. Basically the law is not 100% friendly for this mega firms concept. But then we are proposing under ICSI that we start these mega firms. Why do we need mega firms? The role of company secretary has changed. Before, company secretary means it was only like he was going to write the minutes or he is going to conduct the meeting. It was a very limited role. But now the expectation from the market, expectation from companies, expectation from stakeholders is very, very high. So that is the reason why we need to show the outside world that what is the potential of company secretary, and that can be done effectively with the help of mega firms, because under one roof we have multiple professionals. Imagine yourself, you go to office, there chartered accountant is there, company secretary is there, lawyer is there, 3-4 types of lawyers, criminal lawyer, civil lawyer, corporate lawyer, they are there. Then we have architect is there, cost accountant is there, then we have engineer, so civil engineer. So everybody will come under one roof. So if you go there, you can start anything related to your company. Even if you want to take some insurance, you want some labor law expert, everybody will be under one roof. So this is the nice concept where mega firms are going to be established. Synergy. Synergy is one word you should know relating to mega firms. So they usually say that 2 plus 2 is 4, but then when it is synergy, 2 plus 2 can even be 8 or 10. So when you have people who are doing together, that time a synergy is formed. That means it is just not like 1 plus 2, 2 plus 3, that it is just not addition of number. There are many other things. So you go to a firm, you go to a mega firm, you're asking some question and I'm a company secretary, I'm telling you the answer. But suddenly that question is related to something related to insurance. You'll say, okay, should I take insurance on my property? Should I take insurance on my factory? I don't know the correct answer. I know only basics. So what do? I say we are a mega firm. We already have another person who is expert in insurance. You can just talk to him. So you're saving time and that synergy effect is there. So as a client, you want to come to my mega firm and not just go to one individual company secretary. So this is the advantage in mega firm. When we say mega firm, it is not just that we are going to have 25 partners, 50 partners. Not only that, it should be multidisciplinary. There is no use if there are 20 partners, all partners are only company secretary or all partners are only chartered accountant. That is a big firm. We don't call it as a mega firm. Mega firm is when there's a synergy effect where we have all the multidisciplinary professionals. That is, as I told you, our company secretary, chartered accountant, cost management accountant, insurance advisors, labor law experts, engineers, architects, lawyers, anybody, all these people will come into the picture of mega firms. Now what we will do is, now that you know what is mega firm, it's a visualization. As of now, there is no Mega Firm Act 2010 like that, there is no act. But it is going to come, and as a student you should know. And now also informally people are forming. So they don't have a legal structure, but they are having partnerships with different individuals. Like if you ask me also, I'm a practicing company secretary. So I have an association with chartered accountants, with lawyers, with cost accountant, with even architects. So if any of my clients ask, I can just direct them to them. But then it is more powerful when if all of us are under one roof. So that is the advantage of mega firm. So now let us try to understand the details relating to mega firms. Mega firms. So mega firms is one chapter which is a new chapter which was not there in old Companies Act. So why have they added this mega firms chapter is the first question which comes to your mind. So what you have to realize is that nowadays it is not sufficient that company secretary is doing only one type of work. We have to do other kinds of work. First thing. Second thing, if you are a company needs different services and not only one kind of services. So a mega firm is nothing like, for you to understand, like a supermarket. So if you go to supermarket, you will get all the things you need, from vegetables to clothes. You will get everything under one roof. That is why you want to go to a supermarket and not to go to one small shop. So same way in mega firms, you will get all the professionals and all the services which will be in one place, and that is why we call it as mega firm and not just firm, which has multidisciplinary professions. So multidisciplinary means all the disciplines, whether it is chartered accountant, company secretary, lawyer, as the case may be. Before we go further in mega firms, we should first know a little bit about the CS profession. In 1988, the company secretary profession got many recognitions for certification. Certification is basically nothing but the power to certify a document which gives the authority to a certain professional. It could be company secretary, CA, whatever. So our profession, company secretary, got the recognitions from 1988 onwards. So this was very, very good for our profession. But what we have to understand is that any business needs a one-stop solution, or what we call as multi-professionals or multidisciplinary professionals. Company secretary, chartered accountant, cost management accountant, lawyer, even something which is not connected like architect. So if you are a business, you need all these services. What are the kind of services? It could be accounting, audit, secretarial, valuation, risk management, engineering services. So you want to have one stop, or basically one place where all these services will come into picture. And what is that one place? That one place is mega firm. absolutely the place where you get all your services. So before we understand further, let us first understand one very important thing which you should know as a student. So role of company secretary has changed. So when I say role of company secretary has changed, you should understand that this role is something which has been evolving from many years. So what is the role of company secretary now? It is not just to be a compliance officer. So now we call as chief governance officer and the head of entire compliance, and company secretary should also make sure that the company follows the secretarial standards. Also, the company secretary should not only do compliance but advise the company. So it is a very big role, and that is the reason why we have to understand how is it relevant to mega firms. So now the need is to meet the expectation of the stakeholders. So there is lot of expectation. They want company secretary to provide all the services, and it is our duty to make sure that they are not disappointed. A company secretary is now the conscience keeper of the company. So when we say conscience keeper, that means now the company secretary has to play a leadership role. So it is very important that company secretary should lead the company when it comes to especially things like compliance. So compliance means following all the laws as per the requirement. So the conscience keeper is the company secretary, or we also call him as compliance officer. So we can say that today company secretary is a catalyst. So what do you mean by catalyst? So catalyst is a person who will make sure all the work is done, who will enable all the work to be done, and he is the person who is the pivotal reason for any good thing to happen. So what we can say is that company secretary is catalyst for change and to help the decision makers in setting the right corporate excellence. So corporate governance we all have heard. So the company secretary is the catalyst or the person who enables the company to make sure it is in the right path when it comes to law. So that is why there is high respect for company secretaries, because they're always telling the company what is the law to be followed. Of course, the director sometimes might not listen to the company secretary, but it is important for us to understand that company secretary has a huge respect in the profession. So what is it? So first let us try and understand the new role is definitely challenging. So new role of company secretary is anything new is challenging. Let us try to understand that first. If I told you to do something new, suddenly the first reaction is no, I don't want to do. Same way, till now company secretary was only doing simple things like writing the minutes, then organizing the board meeting, organizing the annual general meeting. So we were mainly concentrating only on Companies Act 2013. But now we have a huge opportunity and there is a huge role, and that is why we are first studying in mega firms what is role of company secretary, how we can leverage it. So we have the talent, we have the scope, but we need a vehicle. We need something like a mega firm which will make our profession be visible to everybody. So that is the requirement which we have to understand. So that is the introduction which you have to know. Now going to the next portion, we have to first understand what is the mode of practice which the mega firms have to do. So what practice should the mega firms do? So what is mega firm basically? It is one firm which has all the services. So it is having a CA, it is having a CS, it is having a lawyer, it is having an architect. That is one way of looking at it. Or you can also say in one firm we have 20 company secretary. That is also a mega firm. So it is not only different professions but also the same profession, many people. But the concept of mega firm is not that in one firm we have 20 chartered accountant, 20 company secretaries, but to have one firm which has company secretary, chartered accountant, lawyer, architect, cost management accountant, engineer, all these people should be there under one roof. That is the vision of the mega firms. So what should we understand in mega firms is that the biggest advantage in mega firms is the synergy. What is the meaning of synergy? So basically, in normal sense, if there is only company secretaries, 1 plus 1 equals to 2. But if we have synergy, because we have all the professionals together, every time in synergy, 1 plus 1 is always more than 2, because we have one place which has all the requirements. I always tell you about supermarket to understand. So if you go to supermarket, when you see the vegetables, you will feel that, okay, I came to buy clothes, but today I want to go back home and cook. I don't have vegetables, so you will buy vegetables. If you go to buy vegetables, then you simply go to the clothes section. You feel, oh, I don't have this shirt, I don't have this pant, let me buy this. So that is the synergy effect, which the advantage is coming for the supermarket owner, also for the consumer, because in one place you get all the services. So that is the effect which you have in mega firm, that we call as synergy. So what we have to understand is that if there is a sole proprietor or a small firm, not only a sole proprietor, even a small firm, the biggest problem which we are going to have is that we cannot diversify, we cannot give different kind of services, and we cannot cater to big companies and big clients. This is the problem. But in mega firm, because of the synergy effect, everybody coming together in one place, you are going to get all the benefit. Even if there is one chartered accountant, one company secretary, one lawyer, all of them in the same road they have office, still we don't have synergy effect. We may have some advantage because everybody is in the same road, people may introduce each other. But if everybody is in the same office, in one place, we have a synergy effect which is unbelievable, both for the professionals and for the clients. Before we even understand about mega firms, we should know what is the limitations of small or sole proprietorship firms. So because of these limitations, we don't get the opportunities of business, we cannot grow, we cannot prosper, and that is why first we should know this. So one of the biggest problem which our sole proprietor or small firms faces, the cash flow. The cash flow will be very irregular and it will be totally dependent on one person, which is a very big risk. After cash flow, the next problem is we don't have a fixed capital. So fixed capital is not there and it is not sufficient. Many times if you want to even buy a new computer, you have to think 100 times because there is only one person, his money is there. Then there are some general problems like what? We have no working hours. So if you are a single firm, you are a single person, people will call you on Sunday also. So the persons will have a huge problem if they are individuals. So sometimes clients are always expecting that you have to work 24 hours for 7 days a week. So that is the reason why mega firms will solve all this problem, because there are so many people. And one big problem here is that if you don't work, you don't get any pay. But in mega firm, you can have a continuous association with everybody and there will be so many people to work just like a big company. And there is nobody to protect the mistakes. So nobody to safeguard your practice. But in mega firm, if you have doubt, you can ask to the other professional and you can be interdependent. And infrastructure is a big problem. You have to open one for small office if you are a small firm. But if you are a mega firm, you can open a big office. So infrastructure is a limitation when we come to our sole proprietorship concern. And the biggest problem is in a small firm, you cannot solicit clients. You cannot advertise. It is a very, very big problem. And how will you tell your people? How will people know about you? So it has to be done organically by reference. So reference is very, very slow. So after 5 years, 10 years, you might have heard somebody telling it will take 10 years to settle in practice. Why? Because of this. We cannot advertise, but in a mega firm, everyone together can work for each other because of the synergy effect which we are going to get, and that will be a major advantage. Suppose tomorrow you are a company secretary and you want to get into practice. You have two choices, firm with partners or you can become a proprietor. So let us try to understand the difference and then you will get an idea what is the advantage of mega firms. So the first thing is that we have many avenues for practice when we come to a firm with partners, because you can expand and there are a lot of options like that. So here in proprietor you have to stick to most of the routine work, or what we also call as boring work, because you are only alone and you have to depend on your entire income yourself. So that is the problem. If you are a firm with partners, you can have knowledge management. So in my firm there are 3 people. So we can divide the work amongst ourselves. What should each person do? That is a very big advantage. And also when we talk about knowledge management in a sole proprietorship, because there is a single person, it is very difficult. Everything is dependent on one person. It is a one-man army. One-man army cannot survive a lot. Once the man is dead, the army will obviously be gone. So if you build a team, it is very good, and that is the advantage in a mega firm or a firm with partners. And risk can be shared. So risk is shared when we have partners and risk is not shared. So it is highly risky when we come to a proprietor. Then we have to understand the other things like multi-dimensional services. So we can give different kind of services if we have a firm with partners, because each partner can be an expert. Each partner can expert in one field. That is the advantage. So obviously proprietor, it is difficult. You cannot be expert in all the things. GST, Companies Act, IBC, RERA, everything you can't be expert. So each person is expert in one thing usually. So that is a big problem. Then in a multidisciplinary firm, we have the partners, which is very good, but we should make sure that partners are like friends and the frequency of the partner should meet. So here, of course, it is a one-man show. So one-man show, I already told you, one-man army. It is very difficult and very risky, and growth is very limited. And in our firm with partners, the next advantage is that you can share the revenues. It is an advantage because yes, you have to share the revenue, but everybody is earning. So in our proprietorship, you don't have to share the revenue. Everything is your own money, but there is a limitation. So again, synergy effect is what we have to understand. And we have the liabilities also, which can be shared in our firm with partners. So liabilities can be shared. So that is the advantage which we have in firm with partners. And we should understand that in a firm with partners, one of the partners can afford to become a resolution professional or valuer. So that is very important. So under insolvency bankruptcy code, one partner can become insolvency resolution professional or registered valuer under section 247, and that is not possible because one proprietor has to do all the work, and it is impossible to take big assignments like insolvency and bankruptcy code or the registered valuer assignment. Whatever I'm telling so far, it is to make you realize that mega firms is the future and mega firms is the way for our profession. It is very good news, and I'm happy that ICSI is thinking in this direction. So what we have to understand now is that there are some applicable rules and guidelines for practicing company secretary which they have to follow. So that we call as the Company Secretary Regulations 1982. So this Company Secretary Regulations 1982 talks about all the things a company secretary can do or what he cannot do. Apart from that, we have the professional misconduct. So anything that the professional does which is not within the framework of law, we cover it under the Company Secretaries Act, the CS Act 1980. Apart from this, there are guidelines for company secretaries for signing of annual return as per the Companies Act. Signing of annual return. Yes. Also, the company secretary has to follow different rules, like even if you want to name the firm. For example, my firm is called as AAA and Co because all our partners name starts with A, we kept that, but there are some name guidelines. So that is what we have to follow. What are we studying? Don't forget, just because it is online class, don't think that what are we studying, don't forget it. It is basically the rules which a company secretary should follow. There are multiple rules. Apart from this, we have to follow advertisement. So advertisement guidelines. So the advertisement guidelines are something which a company secretary should definitely follow. So as you can see, as a company secretary, there are so many things which you have to follow, including you must attend program credit hours. So that is different seminars to update your knowledge. So that is compulsory. Just like how students in training have to go for the hours, that is credit hours, even the CS also has to go. Apart from that, there is something called as peer review. That is, a senior company secretary will come and check the office of the company secretary and tell whether what is the best practices to be followed. Apart from that, we have the dress code for company secretaries when they go for National Company Law Tribunal, when they appear there. Of course, if you simply want to go, you can go in whatever dress you want, but if you want to appear before the judge, you have a particular dress code, like navy blue is our color, things like that. So there are so many guidelines, as you can see, for a company secretary to follow. That is especially a practicing company secretary. So we are not talking about people in employment. It is about practicing professionals who have to follow all these different rules. So as you can see, there are so many things to guide a company secretary on what he could do, what he should not do, and this is very important because when there is a mega firm, still all these rules will apply. What is a mega firm? So this chapter is all about mega firm. Now you understood background about practicing company secretary. To develop the practicing side, the ICSI has a vision called mega firm. So what is a mega firm? It is basically a firm with 25 or more partners. So please understand, as of now, there is no law, there is no act, Mega Firm Act 2015 like that, there is no act. It is a vision. That is why they put it in the last chapter. It is a dream of ICSI to have a law for mega firm. That is why they are put this chapter so that students are aware and they know what is the potential. So we can say that mega firm is a firm which has 25 or more partners, but more importantly, they are providing professional services which is multidisciplinary. Professional services which is multidisciplinary. Multidiscipline means basically all the fields like CS, CA, CMA, lawyer, architect, all that I have told you. So this is what we call as a mega firm. So mega firm will also be having things like international business, insurance, accounting, and we can call it as basically a single window business solution. So if you come to a mega firm, it is like coming to supermarket. You get all the services. Of course, we are not selling any product like supermarket, but you get single window business solution, which is very, very helpful for big clients. So if there is a very big company, if you're an individual company secretary, they will not come to you. They'll think that you are very small and you don't have the capacity. But you are the same person, you are under a mega firm, you will get the invitation and you can go ahead, and that is the big advantage you get. You get access to very big clients from your very first job, from your very first time where you go for practice. Okay, so what we have to understand is that in mega firm we will be having core services like, for example, if company secretary wants to give company secretary service, that is the core service. Then along with that we have ancillary service. So ancillary service means if you give, like if you're a practicing CS, you want to open a mega firm, you want to give some ancillary service like GST, like bookkeeping, and that is accounts related, or if it is some small things like insurance, you want to give the solution. So all these we call as ancillary, which is connected to your core service. So all this core service plus ancillary service, which is equal to under one roof, that is one office and one place. So that is what we call as a mega firm, which is providing all the services.